Hey everybody, it's Ken Abrams with another Tuesday at 10 video blog. First off, Happy New Year to all of you. Hard to believe that we're already into 2025, but here we are. For today's topic, I really struggled a little bit with what to talk about and how to talk about it. There's something that I've been interested in since I was in high school, and that's rights, people's individual rights, and the rights people have in society. When I was in high school, I had a very good teacher, and he defined rights as something very simple. He said, your rights stop where somebody else's rights begin. But you know what? I don't know where that is anymore. I used to think that I had a really good sense of that, but you know what? Now I'm just simply not sure. For example, on October 7th of 2023, a group of students at Harvard sent out an email or a letter to the school saying that they actually blamed Israel for what had happened on October 7th. A number of people were up in arms about what they said, and one group found out the names of the students that had been active in putting that letter together and getting groups to sign on to it, and they put the names of those students onto a roving billboard which drove through Harvard Square. Now, did they have the right to do that? I really don't know. Yes, everybody's entitled to free speech, but when is free speech not really free speech, and when is it damaging to another human being? Again, I simply don't know the answer anymore. I have seen so many protests on college campuses, read so many articles about what's going on in the world, and it is, in a word, depressing, but it's also fascinating. It's fascinating that we're actually having really good conversations about people's rights. Do they have the right to take over a portion of a campus and set up a tent city? Or is that right then impeding on the rights of others? Again, I have no answer for that. I just know that this is a topic that has become more and more confusing as time has gone on. Recently, I heard about a situation at a college where students were protesting members of the Board of Trustees and what their connection or ties to Israel were. They put photos of those people up on campus with some of their personal information. Again, did they have the right to do that? They're putting somebody else in harm's way, which to me says, you know what? Your rights stop when you're putting somebody else's rights in jeopardy. But again, I simply don't know the right answer. Years ago, I was reading on Twitter, and the HBCU, Historically Black Colleges and Universities, an association that was affiliated with them, was talking about whether or not students had the right to protest in the manner that they did. What they chose to do was that when a speaker was on campus, a specific speaker, not just any speaker, they were opposed to that speaker being allowed to be on campus. And what they did is, during the individual's presentation, they stood up, turned their back to the speaker, stood there for a few minutes, and then walked out. The question that the association posed was, did the students have the right to do that? I responded saying that I thought they had the right to do that, but I didn't think it was the right way to protest, because they were in fact impacting the experience that other people had. And was that fair? I'm never going to come to any kind of a conclusion, and I'm sure a lot of you aren't either, but it is something to think about. Where does one person's rights end, and where does another person's begin?